Hello YouTube! Now, a while ago I promised a review of the following episode of Legend of Korra I'm about to review. This episode is entitled Remembrances, and in my opinion it was the worst episode in what was otherwise probably the best series I have ever seen in animation, and possibly one of the greatest television series of all time. Certainly, The Legend of Korra was superbly animated, perfectly voice-casted, wonderfully written, at least after the first 6 episodes, and concluded with possibly the very best series finale I have ever seen. This show really was
epic.
Whilst I acknowledge the first 5 episodes did go a little slowly, and some of the parts in the start of Series 2, Korra seemed a little out of character, I will say that some of the more technically badly written episodes early on in the show actually got me more invested in these characters later on, because we really got to know the ins and outs of their personality. We got to know why we should care about these characters, and in the end, I felt, in the finale, like I was more invested in these characters than I've ever been in the characters of any other TV show. I loved it. But then, right out of the blue, towards the end of the series, this episode came out. The main reason I feel this episode is really pointless is because it does nothing to add to the main overall plot of the series. In fact, all it does is bring together lots of clips of various episodes throughout the series, including some of the really good moments.
I can't believe I trusted you. You made me think you wanted to restore balance with the spirits, but this isn't balance, it's madness. Now let her go.
If you want your friend to make it out of the spirit world, you'll open the other portal now.
And some of the really out-of-character moments.
Ensign's just trying to help you become the best avatar you can be.
Of course you take his side.
I'm not taking his side.
You know, sometimes I wonder whose side you're on.
There aren't any sides.
How could you take his side?
What's with you and sides?
And really quite badly written moments.
So I was thinking we should spend some time together. Look, I really like you, and I think we were meant for each other.
And really, there's a lot of quite annoying narrations, which kind of fail in their attempts to be funny, at least early on.
Oh, that was the first time you met? Kind of rude there, buddy.
You know what else is rude? Interrupting. What I'm trying to say is, as much as you drive me crazy, I also think you're pretty amazing.
Hot dog! Smooch City, here we come, you player.
Whoa, I thought you were dating Asami.
2, get out of here!
Naughty Mako, you take after your grandfather.
But then it gets brilliant. Really brilliant. Because we get to see Varric's interpretation of the events in a way that he thinks would sell a movie. And who the hell wouldn't want to see this movie? It comes across as freaking amazing.
Bolin turns Unavatu into magic dust and sprays him into the sky. And that's where the stars come from. Oh yeah, and he turns into a dragon, he goes into the spirit world, and he saves the Avatar. The end!
Wait, you like that? It didn't make any sense. What about Zombie Amon? What happened to him, huh? And stars? Are magic fairy dust? Are you guys crazy? Are you crazy?
It's just a mover. Don't overthink it. It's like a ride.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, kid.
With that said, it really does annoy me, this episode, because as with many other people watching this, when we were gearing up to it, everything was building. This episode was really quite close to the end of this series, and everything was building up to something epic, and sure enough, it did not disappoint in becoming something epic. But this episode interrupted that with a huge downward spike, and then immediately the show climbed itself up again. But simply showing us scenes we've only seen not that long ago, with kind of annoying narrations, really did bug me, and quite a lot of other people as well. And I was going to do this as a proper Disgruntled reviewer video. I won't deny I was. This was going to be one of my final episodes of this series, this review, and it was going to be something that I was really going to rant about. But I'm not going to, because there was a very, very good reason that this episode was bad. And it makes me respect Michael and Brian, the writers, so much more for doing this. Because before this episode was made, just before it was made, Nickelodeon did some budget cuts that were really very severe to the production of Legend of Korra. And they basically gave Mike and Brian a very harsh choice to make. They either made this episode a clip show, so it was much cheaper to make with only limited amounts of footage and not really very much new voice recording, or they would have had to have sacked so many workers that they wouldn't have been able to do the finale properly. And it would have ruined their employment. It would have just been a disaster if this episode hadn't been bad. So, instead of complaining about this episode, I'm instead going to say, thank you, Mike and Brian, for doing the best you could with this series, and for making it something flat up great. I'm a huge fan. Thanks. Oh, and by the way, if M. Night Shyamalan ever tries to make a Legend of Korra movie, please proceed to punch him in the face. Hey guys, Dan King here again. Now, next week I'm going to be reviewing something which is apocalyptically bad. Now, I'm still going to be reviewing Teen Titans Go! Let's Get Serious. I'm going to be reviewing that the week after next. Now, I know that I'm going to be able to keep to my schedule, unlike usual, and I know this because I'm going to record all of these videos over the next 3 days. I've recorded this one today, I'm going to record the next one tomorrow, and the next one the day after. That way, I'll have plenty of time to go around to get around to uploading them, and, well, I'm going to make sure they come out on each Thursday. Okay, so that's that. As it comes to the show that I'm going to be reviewing next, it's an anime kind of superhero show which is really, really messed up, especially when you consider that the official age range for the audience is middle school to high school kids, which really means that theoretically it has a similar audience or similar target audience to The Legend of Korra, but it's so messed up and so not suitable for children. It does have some very creative ideas, this show, in later episodes, and because of how good some of the later episodes were, it's almost a shame that it was cancelled in the place it was. But it has some truly diabolical ideas in it, and some of it is so badly written, and the main character is an idiot, and there's so, aside from the last few episodes, it takes so long to get going, and it focuses so much on all of these really messed up love stories, really. And the show is called Kampfer, and I'm going to be reviewing an episode next week. I'm actually going to be reviewing 2 episodes, which are one straight after the other. But I'm going to be doing this just to point out that this show is worse than Teen Titans Go. And I don't just mean a little bit worse. I mean a lot worse. To the extent that, aside from the few good episodes that are in it, it's the worst animated television series I have ever seen in my life. That is what I'm going to be reviewing next week. I don't want to have to watch it again. Cheerio.